not few months, 8-9 weeks. So we dwelt on properties at bulk as well as at nano, how the properties are getting changed when we move from bulk to nano, why it changes, how it changes, what are electrical properties, optical properties that are different from bulk material. We have dealt in Unit 1. Unit 2, we have elaborately studied about making of these materials by both chemical methods as well as physical methods. Both have their own merits and demerits. We have also studied about the protection of nanomaterials, different types of protection we can have it, electrosteric, steric, electrostatic. Then in the third unit, we have dealt on green synthesis of nanostructured materials, nanocolloids using some natural feedstock. And we have also studied about microwave synthesis, microwave generation, etc. And in the fourth unit, we have learned about the characterization of nanomaterials, whether it is a crystalline nanostructures or amorphous nanostructures. There is an equipment or instrumentation to characterize. X-ray diffraction will be a good tool to characterize crystalline materials. IR and Raman spectroscopy are useful technique to characterize amorphous materials, spectroscopic technique, microscopic technique, BET, etc. So now we have come to the last unit, applications of nanostructured materials and nanotechnology and its implications on the society. So I will be able to give only the general applications of nanostructured and nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. Maybe there are other 2 more papers you will be studying in the following semesters, where very specific aspects of application of nanotechnology will be dealt. So one course I will be taking, another course Dr. Harpi will be taking. So my course will be associated with the nanomaterials for battery, supercapacitor and fuel cell applications, which will be taught in the second semester and the third semester. And there is another nanotechnology for energy course being taught by Dr. Prashant RP in the second semester. So I hope you will get much more information about the implications of nanotechnology for energy aspects or energy applications. So today we will dwell mostly on the general aspects of nanotechnology, nanomaterials applications. So we have learned or we have studied about many things about nanomaterials and nanotechnology. What are the benefits it can offer to the society or humankind? Whether it is going to be a sudden change in the society because of the introduction of the nanotechnology, or it's going to be another technology. How much implication it can make on the society, how much benefit it can provide to the humankind. Yes, definitely there is a contribution, there is an influence made by nanomaterials, nanotechnologies already. You believe it or not, already we have been using hundreds of nano products in the market, maybe in your day-to-day life. More than hundreds of nano products are available. Whether it is a chemical industry, automotive industry, or healthcare, electronic industries, energy sector, or aesthetic applications, etc. Chemical industries, automobile industries, electronic industries, healthcare, cosmetics, energy aspect, etc. There is a role of nanomaterials, nanotechnology to provide much better information or much better performances. For example, if you want to name a few, the fillers in the tire industries are fillers for such applications, or the nano coatings using some nano composites, or magnetic fluids, or nanofluids. It may be for coating on some frames or some surfaces, or paint industries. There is a role of nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. I have a nice video. The surface can be made as a highly water repellent, wrinkle free, scratch resistant, non-wettable surfaces. Even if you dip in water, it will not get wet. Use of nanomaterials for highly super hydrophobic surface can be made. Chemical industries or chemical compounds. In terms of automotive industries, using this carbon nanotube or graphene-based materials, it is possible to make a lightweight frames. Maybe if it is for automotive applications, or the paintings. Again, long-lasting painting can be made. You may use a nanocatalyst to decompose toxic emissions or toxic gases into green emissions. Use of these nanomaterials in order to detect toxic gases very efficiently pertaining to automotive industries. And in terms of healthcare and medicine, nanomaterials can act as a drug delivery vehicles, especially carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotube can act as a drug delivery vehicle. It can drag the folic acid attached with the gold quantum dots, and these gold quantum dots can be selectively injected or delivered to the spot where it has to be delivered, and can be made to decompose to provide local heat. So thereby the damaged cell can be completely destroyed, or the tissue or the cell having some problem can be locally destroyed by generating the local heat by decomposing or by firing nanoparticles, for example gold, which can be delivered using carbon nanotube by attaching with the folic acid. And use of these nanomaterials, nanotechnologies, it is possible to have a rapid test. We have already witnessed in the last 1 year or so. Definitely there is a role of nanotechnology in combating or controlling this COVID-19. The surface nano coatings, you would have heard about it, or you would have used, thanks to this nanotechnology, nano coatings, rapid reductions, antimicrobial agents, or for example, you can coat which will resist these microbes to grow. And you can develop using these nanotechnology agents for cancer therapy. You can create a local heat so that the damaged cell can be completely destroyed, or the problem associated with the tissue can be locally made to destroy. Definite role of nanomaterials, nanotechnology in healthcare medicine. And there is no limitation in electronic industries. Okay, so the data storage of your SD card has been increased enormously from 58 megabytes to maybe 58 gigabytes to terabytes in a given same mass and given same volume. Your mobile phone display has been increased, enhanced. It used to be a few inches, now 10-inch screen or larger screen, better display, better illuminations, nano laser diodes, glass fibers, conductive coatings, anti-static coatings. It will not have any charges on that anti-static coating. If no charges, the surface can be made highly fresh always. Role of nanomaterials, nanotechnology in electronic industries. And with respect to the energy sector, whether it is a fuel cell, battery, supercapacitor, solar cells, nanomaterials, nanotechnologies are inseparable. There were days or years We used only foils as a catalyst, platinum foils as a catalyst, which had only limited performances as a fuel cell catalyst. But now we can employ nanowires, nanorods, nanoparticles. You get improved voltage generation, improved power densities. The power densities of batteries have been increased very much with the use of nanomaterials, because there is a reduction in the diffusion length or diffusion path because of the reduction in the grain sizes, so that ion hopping, mobility of the ions can be quicker, so that you can realize large power densities even with the batteries. With respect to supercapacitors, use of nanoporous materials, nanostructured materials associated with the large surface area when interacts with the electrolyte can provide large double layer interface. Larger the double layer interface or electrical double layer, larger the charge storage. It means the energy density or the charge storage capacity of the supercapacitor can be lifted or has been lifted with the use of nanostructured materials. And with respect to solar cells, there is no doubt the efficiency has been increased from somewhere from less than 10% to double digit, 23%, 26%, and still growing, still increasing. Anti-reflective coating, you can do very much with the nanomaterials, so that all the energies, all the radiations falling on the solar cell can be observed and can be utilized for conversion into electrical energy. If you don't have ARC, anti-reflective coating, more than 50% of the light falling on the solar cell getting reflected, not available for the absorption by the solar cell materials. If the sun radiation is not available for the absorption by the solar cell material, then how can we expect converting them into electrical energy? Thanks to ARC, anti-reflective coating. And in terms of aesthetic applications, whether it is a sunscreen mask or toothpaste, all embedded with the nanomaterials. The chalky appearance when you apply a sunscreen mask can be avoided or minimized, so that you have your regular skin, not with the chalky appearance. Toothpaste, enamels, fillers, titanium oxide, a filler, yttrium oxide filler, little expensive, can be made into nano. Very specifically, iron nanoparticles can be used as a treating material to treat the dirty water into environmentally clean water. It effectively removes a toxic component, arsenic namely, from the groundwater. You make 3 nanometer iron particles, okay, so imbued with or mixed with groundwater containing arsenic. It will capture the arsenic and leave only clean water. Now, silver nanoparticles can be embedded with the filters, maybe filter papers, can effectively kill this E. coli and such germs or such bacteria. Not only that, you would have heard about silver technology, a silver coating that has been applied on the washing machine, your refrigerators, etc. Very much implemented. There was some ambiguity in silver technologies, but the point is that having a coating, nano coating of silver can effectively arrest bacterial growth, the unpleasant odor can be avoided from the refrigeration or even from the your washing machine. How it happens? This is how it happens. It kills the membrane, the cell membrane of the germs, bacteria. Effectively kills the bacteria or germs, so that the surface is always kept fresh. The surface is always kept fresh. And for environmental applications, there is no limitations. We know that nanomaterials have a very large surface area and surface to volume ratio. And you know that the environment is getting degraded or the environment is getting polluted. At least 50% of the pollution is caused by the automobile emissions. And if you apply this nanocatalyst, it can effectively decompose nitrogen oxides, NOx, into nitrogen. Partially decomposed hydrocarbons into CO2 and water. You get very high decomposition rate and can provide clean and green environment. In terms of alternative energies, we have almost moved from conventional lighting to LED lighting. So much technology, nanotechnology is implemented in LED. Even in CFL, we moved from condenser light, incandescent light to fluorescent lamps to nowadays it is LEDs. A group of LEDs. It may not be one LED would be sufficient to have a proper illumination, but a group of LEDs. A group of LEDs, you get much better luminescence with the consumption of very less power. Thanks to this nano coating, you can have it. You can see that as reduction in 10% of carbon emission, moving to better alternative energy sources. And very much lot of nanomaterials, nanotechnologies are implemented in automotive alternative energy sources in terms of battery, fuel cells, power backup, coating. I think I have here some specific information I have on alternative automobiles. Wrinkle free, scratch resistance, water repellent is possible. Longevity, lighter weight, possible. Flexible devices, you can embed such devices on your cloth or on your bag or your travel bag anywhere. Both it can be integrated. Your energy converter device and energy storage device can be integrated. And you don't have to look for separate grid for charging. Backpacks are embedded with the solar panels. Your mobile phone displays are embedded with your solar panels. And it can power from even this in-house light itself. Dyson solar cells. You don't need to even walk out to the sun radiations. And it can be bendable, flexible, wearable, whatnot. With the use of polymer solar cells. And in terms of energy storage, great contribution made by these three people, Stanley Whitingham, John D. Goodenough, Akira. They paved the way for recharging the world. Now it has taken different dimensions. Combination of nanomaterials and microparticles, you will be having both energy density and power density in a single device. We continue to have solar cells, which essentially uses an expensive toxic dye to capture the light. Once it captures the light, then there is a separation of electron and hole pair. How effectively you can separate these electron and hole pair will give you the efficiency of the solar cell. Now, we have QDSSC. You get much better efficiency without using the expensive toxic dyes. Here you use quantum dots to capture the light and then transfer to the titanium oxide semiconductor. Then usually done all other aspects. Silver quantum dots, gold quantum dots, platinum quantum dots. You can tune. If you tune the grain sizes, you are tuning the SPR band, surface plasma band. You'll be able to capture all the radiations falling on the dye-sensitive solar cell and can get converted into electron and hole pair, can be transferred to TiO2, then usual DSSC application can be realized. New terminology itself evolved. DSSC, also known as Gratzel cell. Now we have quantum dots based Gratzel cells. The expensive toxic dyes have been replaced. And with the use of anti-reflection coating, the efficiency of the conventional solar cell or solar panel can be improved based on silicon or gadmium selenide or telluride, any solar type materials. This anti-reflective thin layer of anti-reflecting coating is possible with the help of nanotechnology, which suppresses the reflection of radiations so that all the radiations falling on the solar panel can be available and can be observed by the solar panel or semiconducting material and can get converted into maximum electrical current or electrical energy. Very much possible. Not only that, the thickness of the solar cell has been reduced from somewhere from 300 micrometers to now very low micrometers. So much dependence of the material can be reduced thanks to nanofabrication technology. It may be a CVD or PVD technique to fabricate solar cells. I have shown some of these slides in the beginning itself. We have already crossed the Moore's law, which talks about the density of the transistor can be housed on a given space. We have already crossed. In 2000 itself, we have crossed. The original version of Moore's law states that at every 18 months, the amount of transistor that can be accommodated in a given small space doubled, tripled. Now, in 2000 itself, in a given such a small space, more than these many transistors could be accommodated. We were Celeron processor, then Pentium 1, 2, 3, Pentium 8, Pentium 4 processor. We have already crossed our transistors. Moore's law, thanks to nanofabrication. Single electron transistors. Not necessarily silicon-based transistors, carbon nanotube based transistors. Possible to make a single electron transistor or transfer. So much application in electronics, nanoelectronics, waveguide, nanowire based hybrid energy conversion, or CPU, or any other waveguide or electronic applications. And another new terminology has come up, molecular electronics. We know optoelectronics, electronics, molecular electronics. Few molecules can provide the electronic circuit. Chemically synthesized circuits. No need to fabricate. You have some molecules and can act as a circuit at a nano level. That's what. Carbon nanotube based transistors, which requires less power and the performance is very high. Very high. A transistor can be flexible and transparent. Wherever you are looking for a transparent, it is possible to have it with the use of graphene-based transistors. And unlike MOSFET, which are most on semiconducting metal oxides, now you can have FET, using CNT, carbon nanotubes. And so much advancement made in the computer technologies in terms of data storage to display to wireless display or wireless connections to your transistor. You know, first generation computers, to operate one computer, you require huge volume of space. So much vacuum tubes were requiring. Now it has been brought to a tabletop or palm top, now smartphone. The performances that you can get from this smartphone is much, much higher than the performance that was obtained from the first generation of the large computers. Because so much integration of the nanomaterials, nanotechnology has taken place embedded in this smartphone. Need not be only battery, need not be only your SD card or internal memory. The ROM has been increased, RAM has been increased, display has been increased, flexible circuits have been made, processing time has been reduced. And as you read here, in the future is going to be your table can be a computer, your wall can be a computer, wherever you go. Maybe your cloth can be a computer. You don't need to carry the computer. It's all going to be a cloud storage. Already started. You don't need to have dependent your own space for data storage. Everything's stored in the cloud. You'll have to only access it. CFCs, McDonald's, they already have this facility. You need not have your browsing laptop or smartphone. While you are waiting for your order, you can access that. Walls, tables, seatings. Long time back itself in Korea, always they have a Wi-Fi. 5 years before itself. Now we have in India. 5-10 years before itself it was implemented. Free Wi-Fi throughout the nations. I am not ambassador for Korea. It's an information that I read. This we have already witnessed. We have been using this 10-15 years before. This was the capacity of the data storage for the same mass and the same volume. Now, you look at the data storage capacity, 128 GB, gigabytes from 128 megabytes. In 10 years, or hardly more than 10 years, so much improvement in technology has taken place. This is not possible, or this was not possible unless you adopt nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. Already the dimension for transistors are shrinking. You have already crossed the Moore's law. This is what I told. The walls can be computer, your chair can be a computer, display, table can be a computer, definitely. And your carry bag can be a computer, your backpack can be a computer, or display, solar panels, both energy storage and conversion can be implemented. You see here a tab having solar panel, complete independence of grid connected energy. For transportation, no limitation. Whether it is a use of catalytic converters using nanocatalysts to have a much better decomposition of the toxic gases, or the tires embedded with the fillers, nanofillers, silicon oxide nanofillers, so that it can provide much better wear resistance, better battery backup, increased fuel cell efficiency, better display, wear resistant tires, high temperature sensors, and we are talking about all electric vehicles. Complete independence of the fossil fuels. Better strength materials with the use of polymers and carbon nanotubes, nanomaterials, lightweight, much improved strength for transportation. And very much automatic application, you can go through each and every aspect, from sensors to anti-scratching, water repellent, lighter materials, many applications of nanomaterials towards automotive applications. Catalytic converter, if it is a fuel cell efficiency, scratch resistance, water repellent, etc. And very much available for use in healthcare, cancer therapy. Selectively, you can burn the affected tissues by delivering silver nanoparticle, gold nanoparticle with use of carbon nanotube as a drug delivery vehicles by attaching folic acid. Better diagnosis possible. People have invented nano machines, which gave Nobel Prize in chemistry in 2016. Nano machines using which many information can be stored. Not only energy, information can be stored. Decoding or coding of DNA information can be stored in these nano machines. Molecular machines, invention of molecular machines for these three people. Molecular machines, very much connected to the nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. Fewer molecules, a collection of fewer molecules or atoms, ions, is nanomaterials and can behave as a vehicle or a machine. This is what I am telling you. So, for example, if you want to deliver a particular drug to a specific location on your body, on anybody, okay, so you can have a drug delivery vehicle that can be essentially done by carbon nanotube. You attach this nanoparticle to that. Along with that, you attach folic acid. This folic acid is wanted by the tissues. As the folic acid moves to which carbon nanotube and these nanoparticles are attached, they also will move. Then you give the signal to deliver the nanoparticles and can be delivered locally and can be burnt locally, can provide local heat, thereby the affected tissue can be completely destroyed. Otherwise, very difficult to selectively heat on anybody's body. Better efficient diagnosis possible. Gene editing, whether it is having some negative implications or positive implications, that is different. But people have done this. Artificial tissues, durable organs. You would have heard it. You would have heard it. A very recent news. Anti-aging. People will never get aged. Wanted to live forever. Use of manipulating this gene editing, gene deduction, or gene gun. You can selectively deliver the codes using this gene gun. Some specific information. Gold is inert in the bulk. It cannot be catalyzed. Carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, nitrogen monoxide into nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen. But when you make gold nanomaterials, it even decomposes carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide with very high turnover number, with very high efficiency. Inert, bulk gold is inert, but nano gold is highly catalytic. A new terminology, as I used to tell, nano catalyst has evolved. I'm sure many of you are using this, or all of you are using this such class. The khakis embedded with nanofibers, maybe a nanopolymers or nanosilks, wrinkle-free, water resistance, non-wettable, dust repellent, so that you can wear for longer time. You don't need to wash frequently. I'm not recommending anyway, but literally it is possible. Wrinkle free, water resistant, dust repellent fabrics can be made with the use of some polymer embedded hotkeys. Socks or wherever you require any such applications. Highly water repellent, highly repellent. I have a nice video on super hydrophobic surfaces. Many people will like, need not be only our girls, even men want to look pretty. Use of these cosmetic applications embedded with zinc clear anti-aging cream. I'm not recommending, but such things are available in the market, or some of you would have experienced it. This chalky appearance can be avoided if you make 10 nanometer zinc particles effectively reduces or arrests the UV radiation. You see that many nano products are already available in the market. We have been using them, whether it is a battery, laptop, solar cells, or cosmetic applications, or drug or deduction applications. Your rackets can be made up of carbon nanotube embedded with some fillers, silicon dioxide fillers, better durability, flexible, but still durable, not breaking, not brittle. You can have it. Very much these rackets are embedded with the carbon nanotube. You get much durability. And these balls, tennis balls or even cricket balls, can be embedded with the nanoparticles, can provide longevity. Okay, you don't have to frequently throw it, replace it. You can use them. And for food packaging also, there is a role of nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. Zinc oxide effectively captures the moistures so that the food is always kept away from the moisture and oxygen. Otherwise, the food will be prone to decay, decomposition. Can act as an antibacterial protection. Zinc oxides are such materials. You see that a lot of applications nanomaterials can provide. You name any field, there is a role of nanomaterials, nanotechnology. It may be a device, it may be a material, or it may be a coating, or fabrication, etc. So from here, maybe a few more minutes, I will take you to some videos. This is what I was talking to you, super hydrophobic surface. One surface is having normal surface, another surface having coated with the hydrophobic material, highly water repellent. It's already available. See the difference? There is a background music also. I don't know whether you are getting that or not. So maybe possible all these things are possible in near future. So bear with me, I have few more videos. So basically, this Samsung, they are trying to launch flexible mobile phones. Mobile phones, it can be bendable. This is 4 years before this video. This was inaugurated. Nowadays, they have already launched the flexible mobile phones. See here, flexible mobile phones with the displays. Yes. Flexible. See that. I think this is interesting. You can have a view. So these are technology-driven relationships. This we have been. Let me go to another video. So this is what I was talking to you about drug delivery using nanotechnology. See that it can selectively deliver where it is required, and it can smash. Sometimes it is carried to view. We call these nanoparticles as nanobots. Selective delivery of the nanoparticles. Then I must be having another one important video. This one. Cell phones are the future. We have been already using several such cell phones. You will see that up to 2040, how the cell phone technology will transform using nanotechnology. We have crossed all these years. We have been already using this. So this is the future technology going to come, morphing. I think I'm mostly done. So there are many such interesting videos in the open literature. Maybe you can put some keywords and try to have a look. So much power is there, so much future or technology is there with the nanomaterials, nanotechnology. Not just energy, not just computer technology alone. Any aspects, any field. That's why last 10 years or 15 years also, most of the communities, most of the nations talking about nanotechnology, nanomaterials. And most of the institutes, universities have started a separate department, including Pondicherry University. If not a separate department, at least a separate program people have started, both in science, engineering, and technology. MSc Nanoscience and Technology, or MTech Nanoscience and Technology, or ME Nano Engineering or Nanotechnology, etc. So much potentials. You get much improved performances. Why not? It will benefit the society. Definitely. It can provide much better conveniences. Your talk time of mobile has been increased. The range of your vehicles has been increased. The efficiency of solar cell has been increased. The speed of your smartphone has been increased. But not. Thanks to this nanotechnology, nanomaterials. Thanks to nanomaterials, nanotechnologies. That is why such course is also being offered in our department. You have witnessed that from the very basic to whatever the levels you have learned it. I hope you enjoyed this course and you will continue to enjoy this course by contributing your part. Youngsters like you have a huge potentials to contribute for the more knowledge on the nanomaterials, nanotechnology. Need not be battery, need not be solar cells, bioimaging, optoelectronic, aesthetic application, healthcare, very much. I wish some of you take up this direction in your future endeavors and contribute to the knowledge so that it will benefit the society. I think with this I will end. Unless if you have any specific comments, clarification, I will be able to respond. Otherwise, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the course. Thank you very much for all your attentions. Thank you. Someone has asked why these products are too costly, and what we studied is nano-based manufacturing, and products are faster, cheaper, and efficient. Yeah, so anyway, when the technology is introduced, it looks costly, definitely. Whether it is a smartphone or anything. You know, so 15 years before I had seen the mobile phone. I have not used 15 years before mobile phone, but I had seen. It was not affordable for me. But now it is affordable. Not because I have become rich. No, the mobile phones have become cheaper because technology has improved. Similarly, many other aspects. When the technology is in the beginning, it looks costly. When it goes for mass production, definitely the cost will be reduced. So, because it involves so much efforts, materials to manufacturing to fabrication. That's why. So, as the time progresses, as the technology improves, the price or the cost will reduce. Whether it is for sunscreen mask or bicolor applications. I hope I answered. Parikshit. Anybody else would like to any comments, clarifications? Definitely the performance of nano integrated anything, whether materials or machines or product, expected to perform much better. One example, your smartphone. You have smartphone these days with 6 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM. I told you in the beginning when we started this program, this course, maybe November or December, I told you that I had used a computer 20 years before which had the capacity of the memory, the capacity had only 2 GB. Now your RAM itself 2 GB in your smartphone. I am talking about a desktop 25 years before when I was a scholar in Bangalore. Literally, believe me or not, 2 GB only. When I typed that when I was typing the thesis, when I scroll the Word file, it will run into pages. To bring back to the original page, it used to take long time because the processing time was very, very slow. Even in IISc, 20 years before. Now so much improvement has taken place. Whatever I had done with that 2 GB RAM computer, I can do much better with this laptop, this smartphone, or similar smartphone. Thanks to nanomaterials, nanotechnology, I hope you enjoyed. You continue to enjoy and contribute to the knowledge wherever possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Somebody else has asked. Somebody else. Siddhartha, have experienced the anti-reflecting coating and the hydrophobic nature of solar panel, but I didn't experience anti-dust coating on solar panel. Is it expensive or impossible? It is possible. Anti-reflective, anti-resistant, wear resistance, dust repellent, water resistance, hydrophobic, all these are realizable. There is ultra coating. That's the venture they're looking up it. Super hydrophobic coating, it is possible. Need not be only water repellent, dust repellent. You don't have to wash the cloth. Maybe days may come. You don't have to take the bath. I don't know. It may come. The days may come. Literally clothes, you don't have to frequently wash. I'm not recommending, but there is an option. Dust repellent, water repellent, wrinkle free. You don't have to press. Many people will be happy if you don't, if you are not asked to wash. And you may not be having too many colors of dresses. Maybe white color. You will be tuning the color with the embedded devices. The potential that you apply, it will look red, blue, green, yellow, black, etc. So Professor Vijay Mohan used to tell, it should not be transparent. I have taken the liberty that you are all adult. So such things may come. Smart toilets, smart doors, smart windows. You don't have to paint a different color. For the occasion, you can only change, you will have to only change, tune the voltage so that the window appears at a different colors. Many things are possible. You look up the YouTube or open literature with a specific keyword, you will enjoy the nice videos on nanotechnologies, nanomaterials. Thank you very much. I will be prolonging if you allow me. Okay, thank you. So I will try to transmit your internal 1 and internal 2 question answer scripts, maybe today, possibly. And maybe soon I will upload the internal marks for both first and second internal. I note that most of you have submitted the assignments. I'm seeing that. So I will evaluate and put the mark along with the attendance mark. Thanks, Alice. So you could send me the attendance. I will compile that and use it maybe within 1 or 2 days. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
All the best for your exams.
Thank you, sir.
End semester exams.